Season 5 is here, and the tradition continues. We start it in the garage. It's a later start this year than in past years. You can see that the snow is very minimal, and it's December 21st. I'm not really complaining about the lack of snow, but that also means that the ice forming has been slow. So I've heard reports of 4 to 8 inches of ice out in inland lakes, and I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm going to the local lake that I cut my teeth ice fishing on. I used to go to this little lake just 5 to 10 minutes from my house and literally have the old bobber down halfway in the water column and down at the bottom of the water column and just sit and wait basically for crappies to swim by, and grew in my love for ice fishing in that way to where I have better equipment now and can find fish better now. But we're gonna keep it almost the same as how I used to fish, except that I'll have my electronics with me. It's a 35 to 40 degree day, and probably just sit outside for a couple hours and enjoy it, and hopefully with the electronics we'll find some fish and catch some fish and have a good start to the season. It's season 5 of The Ordinary Fisherman, and I'm excited to bring it back to you guys, and hopefully it will be a smoother year than last year and we'll have a lot of fun. And this episode starts right now. And that's it out there. That's where we're heading. This is a small lake, 80, 100 acres. And it has one deep spot. And it's actually deep for a small lake. It's like 60 feet. And it's just one bowl. And that's where I'll start. I'll walk out there and see if we can't find the pot of crappie somewhere. I've had good success through the years in this lake. That's why I kept coming back to it with the minimal equipment I had in the past. I'm actually growing in excitement. I didn't realize I'd be as excited as I am to come back to a lake where it all began for me. I was a late bloomer when it comes to ice fishing. I grew up open water fishing my whole life basically, but it wasn't until my teenage years that I was introduced to ice fishing, and then I moved away to North Carolina after only ice fishing a couple times. When I moved back from North Carolina, I was 26 years old. This was my main spot for at least 5 years, where I would just always come and fish here, and I would always catch a crappie or two or more by just putting a line down in the water. So it's fairly simple. So when I say I cut my teeth ice fishing here, I truly cut my teeth ice fishing here. It's exciting to be back and try it out again. Let's get going. Let's get going. It's probably, about a half a mile walk maybe. Not too bad, especially with this ice nice and slippery. All right. We're roughly in the spot, or in the area that I have marks from the past. That is something I've always used, is the Navionics app. So like 15 years ago when I was fishing here and I marked a couple of these areas, it's still there in my saved marked spots. So we're just gonna go with my old knowledge. I think I'm gonna drill a straight line because I'm roughly close to the edge of the bowl. So I'm guessing in the next 20 yards or so, it probably drops right off into the 60-foot hole. Not really going to be pulling crappies deeper than 30 feet, because if they're down deep and they brought up fast, it's kind of like the bends where they can't adjust fast enough, and so when you put them back in the water, that sack's full of air and they just kind of stay up under the ice and they eventually die. So you want to be careful with crappies, especially pulling them deep. If you're going to pull them deep, plan to keep them and just keep your limit. Let's do this thing. It's raining. It's raining. I should have saw that one coming if I was looking at the weather. But all I did this morning for the weather is walk outside and go, oh, it's 35 degrees out here and it's not windy. Maybe I should go fishing and get my equipment out and ready. Now it's turning into, let's get the equipment out and wet. And if it's going to keep raining like this, I don't think I'm going to stay out. That's definitely a crappie down there. And this is the first hole where I see legit crappie marks. Oh, here it comes. It's finally committing. Oh, you saw that, didn't you? The rod bent and all. Trying to decide whether I'm going to kind of stick around here, maybe poke a few more holes, or head shallow. Without seeing suspended fish, I would probably go out deeper, but I'm right at the edge of the depth I'm comfortable with catching fish. So this is promising though, because what was on there, like I'm 95% sure was a crappie. With how it felt, it had a little weight to it. The mark looked solid, good. I got another mark here now too. So, I mean, maybe I can drill some holes in this, say, 25 to 30 foot range. That's kind of right behind me around the hole, the basin over here. Maybe there's enough of them hanging around there to catch and have a little fun. If it could stop raining. If it only could stop raining. Rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day. And when you do, be sure it's time to take it in some other time. We're going to find out what we got. It's going to be a crappie. It's going to be a crappie. I know. It's going to be a crappie. Here it comes. Oh! Look at that. Look at that guy. Solid 11. Yep. Solid 11 incher. Found him. Oh, good times. Well, I think that answers my question. I'm not gonna head back until I'm ready to head back. So I'm gonna pop a few more holes here right on the edge of the hole, and maybe we'll get into a few more of these really nice crappies. Boy, if that's the size that's in here, it's gonna be some good times. There he goes. There he goes. My Rain, Rain, Go Away song wasn't all that great. I think I'll have to come up with another song. So that took me about 30 minutes of drilling and looking at holes to find a fish. That's not too bad. You know, most lakes that I fish at every year, I have probably quicker success than that. But, you know, for a lake I haven't fished on for 7-ish years, to come out and drill around my old marked holes. And I don't know how many holes I drilled. I'm guessing, and I'll be right within a few, 28-ish holes that I've drilled. That's not bad. Not bad. Here's another one. It's coming. He's committed. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Well, looky at that. Well, looky here. Starting the year right. Here he comes. A little bit smaller. Right on the snoot. Perfectly. Thanks, buddy. I should have kissed the other one. That one's more the 9. It's a 9er. Solid 9er. Looks like another mark down there. Boy, if I get a third one, we got a pattern, right? Is that how it goes? 1 could be an accident. 2 can fool ya. And 3's a pattern. Yeah, it's amazing how I'm not graphing anything anywhere in any hole. And this one hole, I was just 20 feet away. In my hole before I got here, nothing. Maybe 30 or 40 feet away from the other hole, nothing. And here they are. Oh, this one didn't commit. He definitely came up off the bottom. He's still there. There you go. Oh, because he had it in his mouth. We'll chalk that one up for rust. Little rusty, you know. It's been 9 solid months since I've been ice fishing. You gotta spot me a few misses. Okay, my camera's been rolling for 11 minutes, and I've missed 2 and caught 2 in those 11 minutes, right? That's pretty good. Yeah, I might move my stuff over. Pop a couple more holes right here, and since I'm not in the ice house, I can just sit in one hole for a while until I'm done, and then move over to the next hole. Just kind of keep that rolling. and I was gonna quit. The rain started, I hadn't seen marks, and I was like, I think I might have to chalk this one up as a fail. All right, we'll kind of show my hole drilling. It looks like they're all over the place, but there was a rhyme and reason to it. So I started down here. That was my first 4 holes. And then it went to a circle at the end of the first 4 holes, and I did like 10 to 12 holes there. And I wasn't really marking anything, but I was looking at the depths. And then I did another circle right here that went like this, boop, to where I am now. And that was about 6 or 7 holes. And this over here was 40 feet. So that's the hole. So somewhere between there and here, it just comes up fairly quick from the long gradual flat that's over here. And I just caught, you know, those handful of crappies right here. So I just popped 6 more right next to this one in anticipation that there's a pod here, and I'm gonna work these holes. That's what I'm gonna do. For you pentonics guys, is that what it's called? That's not what it's called. For you panoptics guys, you don't have to do this anymore, right? You can drill your 1 or 2 holes and just stick your sensor down and do your circle and look. But for us old school electronic guys, we gotta pop a bunch of holes and do it the old fashioned way. The old fashioned electronic way. So I'm gonna stick around here, and this is about a 20-yard radius that I just drilled some holes in, and maybe spend the next 2 hours here, hopefully, if the crappies stick around. I've got till about 4 o'clock, and it's about 2, so. I gotta say, the weather this whole year of 2023 has just been funky. I mean, winter starting, of course, last year in 2022, we had record snowfalls, record moisture, which led to really high water again for fishing opener. And then the weather during the summer just was cool. It was a cool summer, even for our standards. And then we go into the fall, into now the winter here in December, and barely any moisture. And when the moisture has come through, it's been like this, a day like today. Rain. Super strange. What made me think of it is just sitting here and seeing the foggy haze. I don't think I've ever fished in December in a foggy haze like this. Definitely a new experience. Yeah, where my kids are just lamenting not having snow right now because they love to ski. The amount of snow I moved last year, snow removal, plowing, shoveling, oh my goodness. I will take a winter with no snow. It's always cold enough to get some ice going, so there always will be ice fishing. So all that to say, here we are, a few days before Christmas, 6 to 8 inches of ice on this little lake, fishing in the fog, catching crappies, all equals to a strange year. Doing a little moving around, trying other holes with some marks, come back to the hole that's just 10 feet from where I started, and here comes a chance right here. Is he gonna bite? He sure is. Look at that. For the area that I've drilled and for the area that I'm fishing, there's like this little 20-foot square area where I've caught the fish. I haven't caught any other fish outside of that. And here's another one of those 9-inchers. I'd like to get that 11-inch class back, but you guys will do. He's got a buddy down there. Off he goes. So I don't know, this could be, you know, the substrate on the bottom is not going to be consistently the same everywhere. Some areas that have just maybe the right kind of muck substrate of some kind where there's more bugs. That's why some fish might be in that particular area, right? Like, why are they here and not 20 feet over there? Or, you know, 20 feet behind me where I just came from. Basically, if you can see my auger, that hole, the hole right there in between, and this hole are the only 3 I've caught. I'll probably pop a couple more and really close by and just see if, like, that's what we're dealing with, just a small area of active crappies. For you crappie fishermen who have been out there a lot over the years, I would love to hear your theories and comment below. What do you think's going on when you find a situation like this? The kind of things I think about when I'm fishing. I always want to get better. I'm feeling so optimistic about these marks here in this new hole that I'm turning on the camera now as I'm dropping down. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, and this is not one of those 7-inchers. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was already having a good day. I was already having a great day. Oh, that's a 12-inch range. I'm not going to get too excited yet. 13 would get me excited. I never have caught anything over 12 in this lake, so that's exciting there. Let me go get my bump. Funny how that works. Not even 10 feet. Like, the hole I just came from is right here. And then this is my line of holes right here where I've been catching them. Okay, what do we got here? Right at 12. It's a beaut. A 12-inch puddle jumper, small lake crappie. Northern Minnesota, baby. This one deserves a kiss. Mwah! Even the small lakes can grow them big. Keep growing, buddy. Oh, we got a couple of nice marks. I'm not sure it'd be another one of those 12-inch class, but certainly bigger than that 7-inch class. Come on. You know you want it. Come and get it. I don't care at this point. One of you come and bite my lure. Ah, the upper one decided to try. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, that was the first like real misread I've made. Not bad for your first time, I suppose, of the year. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely not a 7. What do we got here? Another decent one. That one's close to 10, maybe. Oh yeah, he's right on 10. Look at that. Man, my expectations were low. I'm, I think right at, if I was keeping fish, right at the limit. Which, you know, I thought if I came out and caught 5, 6, I'd be happy. So I guess I did have a little bit of an expectation. I haven't even talked about what I'm using. Kind of same old, same old. The Wonder Bread, which I've called in the past the Dave Gentz special. The Teardrop Tungsten. This is the pink polka dotted one, packed with spikes. And I've been catching fish, so I haven't had any reason to change it. I'm glad that I can broaden my horizons and explore and try new lakes. But sometimes coming back to your roots, coming back to what started it all, is also good medicine for the soul. I'm sentimental, so of course I think fondly of places like this. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Been working on them for so hard and so long, and this one finally committed. Oh, and he is one of them 9-inchers. Might as well end the day on an average catch. Man, it is hard to believe that I used to sit out on this lake on a bucket. And I would walk out to my spot, and I would literally just sit with 2 lines in the water, and I would put one minnow kind of halfway down the water column, and then one about a few feet off the bottom, and I would tough out cold and wind. And well, today I had the opportunity to do that, except with electronics and my electric auger, and have a lot better luck because I could find the fish, and it worked out splendidly. I am super happy. It was one of those days where I had to adapt to them, and thankfully, because it's warm enough, I can just stay outside and pole hop. And it produced that 11-incher, 12-incher, a lot of 9-inchers. That is a great day of crappie fishing. I don't care what anyone says, especially when you're just an ordinary fisherman. Good times. Well, thanks for joining me on this episode. Wherever you are, get out there and go fishing. God bless everybody, and tight lines. Let's go fishing! That's what my son used to say when I took him on this lake. Let's go fishing! And since I'm not really planning to catch, I want to catch fish. Of course I'm gonna try to catch fish. My camera's a bit too far away. I can't see how many minutes it's been rolling. Do the funny thing. I'll get up closer. I don't know if there ever is a normal anyway. Like, define normal. What is normal? Ooh, he looked hard. He looked hard. He had me looking at the end of my rod tip, thinking he was gonna bite. You thought too hard about that to not bite. No, the fog's really starting to roll in now. I can't see that shoreline over there anymore. And that shoreline is a quarter-mile away, tops. Ooh. Ooh. It's getting foggy and ominous. But the fish are here, so. As long as the fish don't get lost in the fog, I'm fine. I should be singing Christmas songs for this episode. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Of course, by the time I put this episode on, it's not gonna be Christmas anymore. And the fish went away. They didn't want to hear me sing. Come on.